dass ich so traurig bin. Ein Märchen aus alten Zeiten, das kommt mir nicht aus dem Sinn, das kommt mir nicht aus dem Sinn.
Well, the people who are there have been with me for about 3 years now, and therefore you need about that much background. In terms of your ability to speak or write or read German, I think you would need to have had some exposure to German in terms of either the language, the grammar and the structure, or a fair bit of conversational or sort of lived in Germany type of experience. So you can't be a complete beginner, but you don't need to either know a lot of grammar or you don't need to know a lot of vocab, but it does help to either know the one or the other. You have to understand that there is a structure, a grammar in German, and you have to be willing to learn more about it. And because some people in the class are quite fluent, they can speak, but they're not sure how the grammar is structured. So they come because of that. And others are not so good in expressing themselves, but they are reasonably good with the grammar and they really like to learn even more. So it's a bit of a mixture. There is always a grammar aspect in each class. So that there will be either translation or there will be exercises in, structural exercise where a grammar point is being practiced, and that changes throughout the year because we do different parts of the grammar. So there's always one bit of grammar. There's always also some conversation or a dialogue or some spoken German that we listen to, and there's also every time a bit of reading and sometimes a little bit of conversation. So, answer questions, etc. But we don't have conversation for a long period of time because most people find it quite difficult.
Now, I know I don't look it, but I'm actually 69 years old. And is that too old to join your class?
No, of course not. No. We have somebody who will not tell us how old he is, but he is over 90.
Oh, gosh.
And he comes every week and he's very good. He contributes all the time. He's also a specialist, or he knows a lot, I should say, about one aspect, which is the cultural aspect, the music. He's a singer and he often knows more about the things that I play, the pieces that I play, than any of us, and he explains to us the background and the words, etc. So it's great to have people of a variety in the class.
Does he sing for you?
Not so much. He sort of sings to himself. When we play something and he has sung it before, then he sort of sings it for himself, and he enjoys it. So, and he's a really great member of the class. I try to keep the textbook question quite cheap, in that I usually use free materials from the net. I then download it, and sometimes it's a PDF file that I then print out and photocopy, and sometimes as well it's a sound file that I then download onto my computer and then onto my iPhone. I take my iPhone into the class and play with a portable loudspeaker. I play the material so that we have something to listen to as well. So all of this costs probably around about $30 or so for a year.
Oh, that's
because
not
my paper and my photocopying cost will be reimbursed by the students. But that always comes in small balls. So small goes like $12 or $13 a pop. So I'm not, there with a big stick. If people can't do it, that's fine. But what I'll do in 2013 is I will ask people to do various exercises, and some of those are translations and or little essays, mini essays on a topic, which I will take home and correct, quote unquote, and then hand back the following week. And I will make comments on the types of mistakes that were made so that people can then concentrate on eradicating those particular mistakes in the next part when they write something again.
If I'm doing exercises like that and I find I'm having difficulty, can I get in touch with you?
Certainly, yes. If possible, it would be an email approach is the best, because then I can immediately explain things. I'm always on my email. Of course, telephone is fine as well, although it's less convenient. Of course, sometimes I can also come a bit earlier to a class or stay a bit longer if something is particularly difficult. But most of the time, people have queried in the past via the email, and I was then able to explain things to them. We have a social aspect to it in that at the end of the year, for instance, we all go out for lunch. I think some friendships have formed within the class. There are times when people bring things to the class, such as, a bit of baking or cakes or sweets when somebody's had a birthday. Or,
yes.
and people always bring extra fruit that they can't use themselves. Like, there's one person who's got a large orchard, I think, and she brings, fruit, lemons, etc., and we all share, etc. So it's a very pleasant atmosphere. And you may have noticed from my accent that I am a native speaker, but I have been here for a long, long time. And I'm still in contact with people in Germany. I have also taught German at various institutions, school and university.
I'm planning a visit to Germany at the end of 2013.
Ooh.
I particularly would like to go to Berlin and see all the cabarets and museums. Will the work I do with you in the class help me prepare for that?
Certainly, it will certainly help you. You can, of course, focus on that particular aspect if you want to in your work, and you can make an arrangement with me to do certain things that would help you more to function in Germany. It is a long process to learn a complex language like German, because it is so different from English. However, any kind of instruction will make you feel more confident to go and, particularly reading signs and learning explanations and those sort of things that will be helpful for you in Germany.
It seems to me that, apart from anything else, your classes sound like a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah, we try and not take it all too seriously, and of course, in terms of time, we usually have an hour of sort of more or less work or instruction or exercise or whatever. Then we have a tea break and of about 5-10 minutes, and then we have the cultural aspect, like a song or some music or some poems or whatever, and or some history, and we do that for probably 20 minutes or so, and then we do a little bit more of the language work, and that's how 2 hours go very quickly.
Okay, where do I sign up?